Hey Internet! I'm Emily. I'm a makeup amateur and a YouTube amateur, and welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the August base box from Boxycharm. This is the lowest price subscription that they have available. It's a monthly box. Obviously, it comes 12 times a year. It's a $25 subscription. If you are living in Canada, then there's an additional $5 US for shipping, which works out to about $38 Canadian. I do apologize in advance if you hear kind of like a buzzing noise in the background. I tested it out earlier and it's not really that audible on the microphone, which is great. I do have a fan running because it's very hot in my room at the moment. So just bear with me if you can hear that. So this box is actually like quite heavy this month. I did open it earlier, so I've seen the products, but I haven't tested any of them out yet. The theme this month is Go All Out, and you get 5 full-size products in every month. One of them you can choose if you are a subscriber from the month before. So let's go through the things that I got and I'll give you my opinion on them. Alright, so the first most noticeable thing in here is from Ayam Beauty Care. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be able to pronounce that as like a word or if it's just initials. This says it's their Dead Sea Minerals and Caviar Makeup Remover Wipes. And according to the package, it removes even waterproof mascara. So I'm not going to get into these right now just because I do have some wipes already that I use for makeup removal. I'll show you. They're really fancy. These are the Compliments brand baby wipes. They're like $8 and you get a pack of 64. These ones from the Boxycharm, you have a pack of 25. So that's, you know, it's a pretty decent size. I will say I'm not thrilled about getting makeup remover wipes in a Boxycharm. I have been trying to be a little bit more sustainable with how I removed my makeup. For the most part, I use like a micellar water or I'll just go in with like a cleanser. I do use the baby wipes though if I have like particularly stubborn like under eye stuff that I can't just get off with a cloth, or you know, if you're just trying to erase like a certain area, like if I have let's say like a matte liquid lipstick on, that's not going to come off with just water. These sound super fancy. I don't know that I need caviar for my face. I don't even eat caviar. Like what am I going to do with it on my face? But that's definitely a useful product, so let's just set that aside. Plastic probably sounds really great on the microphone. It says it's cruelty free and no parabens, no artificial dyes, and no phthalates. Next up is this little orange box. Oh, it's from Somerville. It's their Exfoliate Glow Moisturizer. So they have like an entire exfoliate line, which is like a cute play on words. Although I'm not sure that I want my moisturizer to exfoliate me necessarily. So it says AM and PM apply an even layer to clean skin. It says it contains lactic acid and hyaluronic acid to improve pores and texture while hydrating and smoothing for dewy, refreshed looking skin. So this is a pretty small container. I don't think I've ever seen, like other than like a sample size or a mini, I don't think I've ever seen, ooh, what was I saying? I don't think I've ever seen a moisturizer in a container this small. Mind you, some of them just have packaging that makes them look bigger, but like the inside is actually it's probably roughly this size. Anyway, this is like a really interesting like foam green color. And it has a smell. It reminds me of something from when I was younger. Like, I think I had like a body wash that smelled like this. Or it was one of those like, not a lip smacker, but like something like that. It's almost lemony. So that's really interesting. Oh, it does say it contains AHA. And therefore it can increase your skin's sensitivity to the sun. So I would be careful about that, especially in the summertime. Next up, there's a big thing in here that's got some molecules drawn on it. I used to live with a girl who got her master's degree in chemistry. You should send her a picture of this and see what she says, if that's like the proper way to draw whatever molecule that's supposed to be. That would be kind of interesting because she was always like really hypercritical of skincare that made claims about different elements or different chemical compounds that she was like, there's no truth to that whatsoever. So that would be really funny. This one says it's cruelty-free and vegan. It's from Clean Skin Club and it's their Pineapple Glow Mist, which contains hyaluronic acid, peptides, and antioxidants. Now, I mean, I love a pineapple, as we all know. Oh, this is kind of a funky little bottle. And it's glass. Okay. So the pump at the top, I don't know if you can see that. It's got like this little puck shape on it and you pump down. I don't want to just spray this into the air, but it's also like this ombre yellow to like kind of translucent glass. That's really fancy. I'm sure this is probably one of those brands that says it's really expensive. I think I've heard this name before. I don't think we've gotten anything in a Boxycharm from them. I definitely don't think I personally have tried anything from them. It says to use directly after cleansing, mist onto clean dry skin in the morning and afternoon before serums, moisturizers, and SPF. Spritz 3 to 4 pumps of the Glow Mist onto your clean towel, which is capitalized. Is that like a product that they sell? My clean towel, before patting your face dry for a nourishing and refreshing finish. I'll be honest, as a sucker for packaging and for pineapples, I kind of am tempted to use this, but I also don't think it doesn't smell like pineapples. It just smells like plastic. I am kind of tempted to try it, but on the other hand, I really don't think I would actually go through this whole thing. I don't think I would commit to using it. I'm relatively low maintenance when it comes to my skincare. It's honestly like not even all that obvious about what it does. It says it eliminates dullness. Is that a thing that I'm really concerned about? Not really. We'll see. I might try it once or twice, but then I can just give it away. Okay, next up from Iconic London, this is the product that I chose for this month. It's their Ultimate Bronzing Powder in the shade Light Bronze. This is bigger than I was expecting it to be. I did mention back in July when I did that video that I didn't own at that point any like single pan bronzers. So I got one from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Takeover box, the premium box from July. And then I got this one right after. So I think I'm all set for bronzers now. This one, I mean, again, they did give you, that is huge. That's like the size of the palm of my hand. That's bigger than my hand. That will last me decades. It's pretty light. I mean, again, I'm a pretty light-skinned person. That's maybe a little more accessible for someone with my skill level. Like, I don't really use bronzers that much. It's not a product that I'm super comfortable with quite yet. So I am excited to try this. I will swatch a little bit on my wrist just to see. Okay. So it is noticeable. I mean, it's moderately pigmented. It doesn't really look like it's budging once I swiped it on there. So I can't really blend it out with my finger, but that's enormous. I'm excited for that. Not really sure where I'm going to store this because all my compacts are much smaller, but that's a pretty cool product. I have tried a couple other things from Iconic London that came in Boxycharm. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't, but I'm willing to give this a shot. Absolutely. And the final product in here is another makeup item. The brand is Give Them LALA Beauty. And I'll be honest, there was one other product that came in a Boxycharm, not my Boxycharm, but like that I saw on like Instagram from this brand. And actually it might have been this same palette. This is their, the Grown Woman palette. I'll be honest, that brand name, I'm so confused by it. Like, what is Lala and who are they like that we're giving it to? Is it a good thing or is it like give them heck? Like I don't know. Anyway, such a stupid joke. Okay, so this is a 9-pan palette. These pans are actually quite big. I was expecting, when I saw pictures of this before, I was expecting it to be more like the size of like a Colourpop 9-pan palette where they're like maybe that big. It is a warm neutrals palette. And for that reason, I think I'm just going to give this away instead of using it myself. So that means I'm not going to swatch it either. It is cruelty free. And actually the packaging has like this weird, like, that doesn't look like that's intentionally printed on. That's like it got kind of crunched or like scuffed. Very weird. But anyway, so there's 9 shades in here. It looks like it's a decent kind of starter palette. I will say, as somebody who has a lot of eyeshadow palettes, I totally understand the need for like not just neutral palettes, but like warm neutral palettes. It's probably the most common type of palette out there. And I totally get that like a lot of different brands are going to kind of try to include one in their range because it is the most popular. And, you know, if you're trying to bring in new customers, that's kind of one of the easiest things for just about anybody to pick up. But for me personally, it doesn't excite me all that much, especially the red shades. Now that is a little bit different. Usually they're kind of more orangey or they're just like warm browns, rusty browns, that kind of thing. However, I have noticed for me personally, so I have blue eyes, if I use like a red or an orange shadow, it kind of, and this doesn't make sense because orange and blue are supposed to be complementary colors, it kind of dulls my eye color a little bit. It makes it look a little more gray than blue. And I've already had a male coworker argue with me about my own eye color before. Okay, I don't need to give them any more ammunition. I know they're blue. He said they were gray, and I wasn't having any of that. These names are funny. There's one called Princess of Bel-Air. So I don't think this is something that I really need to add to my collection right now. I think I would rather just give this to someone else. It's a little bit different. It's not a brand that I'm familiar with, so I unfortunately don't know how the formula is going to work, but I think it's better to just leave it be and not mess with it if I'm going to give it to somebody else. Let's take a look at some of the other products that could have been in the Boxycharm box this month. I did have to go back and look up which ones were the alternate choice items, but some of these were advertised actually ahead of time, and you know what? Ended up being really glad I didn't get them. For example, the Frank Body Booty Drops. It's supposed to firm the skin on your rear end, which is like, I don't know that I feel comfortable with Boxycharm telling me I need firming on my rear end, and I definitely don't like the message that they're sending that kind of implies that every single person who gets their box could potentially have those issues. Like, skincare is one thing, but that just seems invasive. Anyway, from Ayam Beauty, we've actually seen this brand before. There's their Hibiscus Unspottable Correcting Oil, so this is supposed to like help you with like pigmentation and spots on your face. The Becca Black Play Pot, again, this is a brand we've seen before. I'm not familiar with this product. Okay, so it's like a cream pot, basically. It says it can be used anywhere on the face, and there's a couple different colors. You're seeing the price here because Boxy Pop-Up is currently running. So you can actually pick one of these up if it's something that you didn't get in your box that you would like to try. There's a couple Frank Body products this month. So there's a charcoal face cleanser. I know there's another one down here, the face moisturizer. There's also yet another face mist from Manna Kadar. Here are the wipes that I got. I did take a quick look through here. There was another kind of wipe from that brand further down. Here they are. The charcoal and Dead Sea Mineral makeup remover wipes. So the same purpose, but like a different type. I'm assuming that would be like a variation off of one another. Let's go back up. There was a mascara from Rockins. This one looked kind of interesting. It's another pineapple product. It's their glossy lip butter from the brand Truly, and there's also CBD in that, which like isn't necessarily a product that I like look for, but it sounds kind of neat at least. More Frank Body. It's a hair mask. And then there are some palettes. I'll be honest, the palette that I got this month I wasn't super excited about, and I was interested in this Laura Geller one just because that picture doesn't do it justice. There were some swatches that I saw where it looked really pretty. No, they're not going to show any here. Okay, well, at least I saw swatches where it looked really pretty. That green in the bottom corner pops like more than it does in that photo. So I would have been interested in this. I definitely would have tried it had I gotten it. And then this other one, Dido Cosmetics limited edition Venus 12 shade palette. I maybe might have given this to my sister just because it's space themed and she's really into space stuff. So she doesn't even wear makeup, but I think from like a theme standpoint she would at least appreciate it. It's another kind of neutral palette, although some of those shimmers look really interesting. I didn't realize some of them were like multi-tone in the pan. This is a better picture. Yeah, this one looks really cool. And this one here too. Nifty. Okay. This row here, very kind of them to arrange it this way. These were all the choice items from the August box. So obviously I got the Iconic London Bronzing Powder. There were multiple shades of this powder. And I do believe the one that I chose was the lightest. Yeah, it was light bronze. So you go all the way up to this rich bronze shade here. There's the Purely's Ageless Glow Serum BB Cream. I didn't pick this one just because I have a lot of like complexion products. I have a lot of BB creams, a lot of foundations, including another BB cream. It's a different one, but it's also from Purely's, so wasn't really feeling like I needed to add another one. And then there was also this lash enhancer from Dr. Lily Fan. I'm always a little bit wary about lash serums. I feel like there's so many ways those could potentially go wrong. And I'm honestly quite happy with my natural lashes, so I wasn't going to pick that. And ditto with the lash set here. That's a brand I've never heard of, but I don't really wear fake lashes that often, so the bronzer seemed like the right choice. Although actually, having said that, it would have been nice to get some lash glue and like an applicator, because I don't have either of those things at the moment. Here's the Give Them LALA palette that I got. There was also some serums from Clara's New York, a retinol serum and a hyaluronic acid serum. Here is the spray that I got, and actually it turns out there was another one from Clean Skin Club, which was their Clean Slate Clearing Mist, and honestly between the two, that one sounds like more like something that I would be interested in trying, which is too bad, but the pineapple one still seems kind of interesting. Then there was some face masks, Ayam Beauty eyeliner, and it's black because, as we all know, like the rule of a subscription box is that you're only allowed to send your customers black eyeliner. First Aid Beauty is a brand that I absolutely love. I use their face wash like every day. I've tried a bunch of their moisturizers. Everything from them I think is like really awesome. This is their Wild Oat Hydrating Toner, which I have not personally tried, but it sounds cool. I think it's one of their newer products because I don't think I've seen it that often. There's some eye patches here. There's a lip and eye serum. I don't even want to pretend I know what that means. Okay, it just says to put it on your... I don't know that I trust the same product to be used on my lips and on my eyes. That's a little weird. There's another mascara from Manicadar. I actually had one from them, not this one, but a different one that was in a Boxycharm like a long time ago, and I really liked it. The only problem with it was that it didn't dry, like, at all for at least an hour. So I would, you know, apply it, and then I would, like, put my glasses on or something, and it would smudge the inside of my glasses, lenses, or I would blink too hard, I guess, and it would end up under my eye. So you had to be really patient and just, like, wait for it to dry down. But it was a good mascara, like, it looked really nice. And then there's a couple things from Avant Skincare, a brightening final touch. Again, not really clear what that is just from the name alone. Oh, it's an eye cream, okay. And just like most of Avant Skincare's products, these things are gonna say that they cost an arm and a leg. And this one is just a lip scrub, and they're asking $71 for it. Just get out of here with that. And then there was a Societe London Shadow Flip, which we have seen in a box before. I think it might have been the base box in July. And I think this looks really cool. Like, it's like a multi-chrome sort of liquid shadow, which would be really neat, and I would love to try that sometime. And that's the end. And I'm gonna find the box, and I will leave my review here. I liked some of the products, but there was just too much skincare in here for me. The palette was fine. Like, if I'm looking back, if this was like the beginning of my Boxycharm subscription and I really didn't have much in the way of neutral eyeshadow palettes, I would have jumped at the chance to use that one. So I think this is coming more from a perspective of what I already own, that I'm just kind of not interested in it. But I think for anyone who's just starting their collection or somebody who doesn't have neutral palettes, that is a good choice. Okay, so I found all the prices for these items. Most of them, unfortunately, are like only sold on their own website. So I just had to do conversion for the Canadian prices for a bunch of them. I'm going to start off with the one that I found at Sephora, which is the Kate Somerville Exfoliate Moisturizer. Now, I found this, but the packaging was completely different. And at first I was like, well, maybe this isn't the full size after all. Like, maybe this one's a mini. No, it turns out actually they are the same size. So I think what they might have done is kind of reduce their packaging, because the other one looked like much bigger and it had like an outer kind of layer to it. Whereas this is just like the inner plastic component, which is absolutely something I can get behind in terms of like avoiding waste and that sort of thing. So the American retail price of this little moisturizer is $70, and in Canada you can get it at Sephora for $93. The Iconic London Bronzing Powder, which this is a brand that actually you can get at Sephora, but I forgot about that, and actually they don't carry this product anyway, so that didn't help me. I managed to find it on shopstyle.ca. The American price is $35. In Canadian, it sells for $43.25. The Clean Skin Club Pineapple Glow Mist retails for $38 US and $47.50 Canadian. They give them LALA Beauty palette, which, by the way, when I was looking this up, I found out where the name comes from. Apparently, it is like a cast member from the reality show Vanderpump Rules, which is not something I've ever watched. So that would explain why I had no idea who this was. She also has a book with the same name as like the title, so that makes a little bit more sense now. I'm still confused about who the they is, but anyway, her palette is $42 is the retail price, which that's a lot, especially for a 9-pan palette, especially for a brand that's like kind of unproven, not really that well known. So I would never spend that much money on this palette, and that converts to $52.50. And finally, the Ayam Beauty Care many fancy ingredients remover wipes. It retails for $12, which converts to $15 Canadian. Like I said, this is way more money than you should ever be spending on makeup wipes. Baby wipes do the job just as well, and you get so many more of them for like half the price. So this is, I would say, a total ripoff. I would never advocate for buying these. However, I will use them, you know, like they're still a useful product as long as, you know, they actually do the job okay. But yeah, so overall, I would say I'm not really overwhelmed with how great this box is. I did actually consider canceling it this month because I honestly hadn't even seen that many spoilers compared to previous months ahead of time, other than like the choice items. So I kind of got suckered in because I wanted to still have choice for the Luxe box in September. And if I'd canceled my base box, I wouldn't get the Luxe box at all. So is that smart spending decision? I'm going to say no. But, you know, I could probably give some of this away. I'm sure some of my friends would appreciate it. I'm going to try the moisturizer just because it sounds interesting. And, yeah. I did also get a premium box this month. I don't know if you can see it's over sitting on the bed behind me. I'm going to open that. I'm going to actually film like immediately once I'm done this. So hopefully that one's a little bit better. just stay tuned. I'll link it below or in a card or something. And hopefully you can, what am I trying to say? Hopefully you can check that one out as well. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. And let me know if you got a box this month or if you've tried any of the products that I got. Have a nice day. Bye.